James,
Raph.
I have a gift for you.
Oh yeah, you've been hyping this one up for a while. What's going on?
You can unbox it live on camera.
This is crazy. I've been told that it's a apparel.
This is apparel.
It's apparel. All right.
Thought we could both wear them.
That's big. I'm gonna hold it up for the camera, folks. That's absolutely huge. Wow. This is swag.
This is swag.
This is so swag and pimp. Folks, if you're listening to this on audio, you need to get to our YouTube immediately and see the drip I'm holding up for the camera and Raph is currently wearing. This is mad.
I think it's super pimp.
Very pimp. This week on the pod, folks, there's been some news on the device front. If you're a Down Around fan, obviously you love devices.
Yeah.
The next model of AirPods will have cameras on it.
Yes.
And then also, Apple is poised to announce its foldable phone. So there's a bit in that realm. But also, we're going to talk a bit about the world of devices generally.
Yeah.
Where are we at with the Meta Ray-Bans, which are copping a bit of heat out in the real world?
Yeah.
And also, the world of VR, the world of, little bits and bobs and business eggs and devices that...
Yeah, AI devices, computer devices, things that people are putting on their heads.
Absolutely.
Now, before we go any further, I was just reminded that there's not a huge down round dub, a small down round dub that we need to take.
Okay.
A victory for Muddle Through. Sam Altman recently said...
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
They kind of were predicting that with GPT... What was it? GPT-4?
I think so, yeah.
GPT-4... They were expecting there to be like large economic changes, and he was surprised by the inertia of society. Society's innate inertia.
It's actually quite difficult to change society. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like they kind of recognized that, oh, hold on, the pace of change may be slower. This is literally what we've said the entire time.
We've said everyone models through. I will say, I do think there is some interesting stuff going on with how the AI companies are sort of pitching themselves at the moment. Very clearly, that was in part of Sam Altman, again, CEO of OpenAI, his mission to basically say, Dario Amodei of Anthropic is the one who did all this. He's the one who's scaring the hose and saying that the world's going to go crazy. Whereas I'm saying society is pretty difficult to change, pretty sturdy. We're no different from any other software company. So there's a bit of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that we don't want to just make it another AI episode, but, as you say, it's a good point because OpenAI and Anthropic originally had the same positioning, which was AI safety, AI is going to go crazy and we need to have responsible people in charge. And now they've basically diverged where Anthropic is still in that camp more so, and OpenAI is like a bit more like
well that's right,
commercial business, etc.
And also, there's been a bit of backlash generally to AI data centers.
Well, yeah, and people are blaming, as we have on this podcast, the idea that the leaders of AI companies saying it's going to take all your jobs.
It's going to take your jobs, maybe kill you. Some people in the tech industry have been like, as if the average person is getting broadcasts from Sam Altman and Dario Amodei. But I think it filters through.
Well, exactly.
Like they get it.
This is communications 101.
Breakfast TV in Australia talks about this stuff. Yeah. Yes, they're probably not doing a whole lot of like, here's what Dario Amodei blogged about. But they're talking about the general vibe of, is your job safe? All the rest of it.
Yeah, and like your uncle is telling you at around Christmas dinner and like it's diffusing throughout society.
But I do want to call out Sam Altman and say, bro, you were saying this stuff.
The
fact that you were like, it's just that weird guy over at Anthropic. You were saying, we're in takeoff.
Yeah.
Remember when they were about to release like GPT-5 or whatever, and he posted like a photo of like the Death Star from Star Wars? Like the scene from Rogue One. Like, sure, yeah, that signals to like 25 guys in San Francisco that you're based. But everyone else is like, I'm scared, bro.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we're talking devices. Look, the two things that we're hinging this off is number one, it's been reported earlier, but the confirmation, the next model of AirPods, which I'm going to put my flag in the sand right now and say AirPods, probably the last like society-changing radically successful product Apple released.
I mean, aesthetically, society changing.
Yeah, probably aesthetically. Obviously, Bluetooth headphones existed before.
Yeah.
Earbuds. But like AirPods are everywhere. They're part of the visual texture of life.
Yeah, and everything is downstream from that.
The next model are going to have a pair of cameras on them.
Yes.
For the point of doing visual intelligence.
Exactly.
Stuff.
I got to hand it to him.
Okay.
Let's talk about backlash to Meta Ray-Bans and, in general, smart glasses.
Yes.
People hate, fair enough, the idea that someone has cameras on their heads filming you.
The idea that someone is surreptitiously filming you.
Yeah, of course. Which, that's it'd be fine if the government does it and private business does it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I guess,
no, it's different. It's when you enter into like a conversation with someone and they have an ulterior thing going on. Yeah, it's creepy. It's creepy.
It's bad. Yeah.
And whereas I guess an obvious CCTV camera is not creepy, is less creepy. So I get it.
There's a safety aspect to it. There's an angle. Yeah.
No, I totally get it. It is weird. And as we talked about multiple years ago, a friend of the pod actually, who was bought Meta Ray-Bans by their loved one, went to the cafe that was wearing them in the cafe and was like, all right, check out my Meta Ray-Bans, and got a compliment from the barista, a female barista, who, I said, nice glasses. And he said, oh, thanks, they're Meta Ray-Bans. And she said, what's that? And he realized in that moment that there is just no way to normally say, oh, they've got cameras in them. Their glasses with cameras in them.
That's crazy.
There's just no way to say that without freaking out everyone.
but I'm wearing them normal style. They're not filming right now. So, I mean, the reason that you say you got to hand it to them, it doesn't seem like these are going to actually be cameras that you can take photos with.
Exactly.
They're purely for visual intelligence and absorbing visual data. Yeah. Now,
people will still freak
some people
out.
will be like, that's weird as well.
Yes.
And the fact, but, you're not taking photos of children with those.
Yeah, you're not filming pickup artist stuff, right? Because that's a big thing, right?
You're not doing videos.
Weird talking to chicks with glasses on seems to be a thing on the internet.
Totally weird pickup artist things. Obviously Apple are like, this is privacy mode. We don't want anyone to feel like they're being surreptitiously filmed with an Apple product. This would obviously be part of Apple's design logic because that's just what they do. But also, as if
it would look like shit.
That would not be prime position to be filming anything. Imagine if you were shooting pickup artist content on your AirPod cameras and you had your mewing Chad jaw fill 30% of the frame.
that you'd
just flexing.
That you'd sledgehammered your cheeks out
into
with it.
Absolute mogging perfection. That'd be sick actually. On that point,
and obviously way too small and all of that.
Exactly, small and weird. I mean, AirPods are for the fact that people use them to take calls, and Apple can do all the sort of machine learning upscaling of the audio or whatever, but they're so badly placed for anything.
Them being so far away from your mouth.
I always notice it because I record a podcast subscriber call for work, and we always log on to the software and use that to do the live stream of the different journos and different newsrooms or wherever they are. And if you're not using the Rode mic we use because the software has automated to AirPods, you just know immediately because it sounds like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And you got to think is this what it sounds like? But I guess you don't really notice during phone calls because it doesn't really matter. But it sounds bad. It would look bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst form factor for that. But I did want to bring up that the classic early tech backlash story when people got really mad at a piece of technology was Google Glass, right? Google Glass back in 2012, 2013, first rolled out. There was all these stories about people being kicked out of bars in the Mission District in San Francisco or whatever because they were wearing these Google Glass things, and people were like, that's surveillance. You're being creepy. You're being weird. People getting bashed. This is headline news everywhere. And the main reason that Google Glass was dormant for so long. So that happened. But, that was also back in the time where you weren't being ubiquitously filmed by smartphones.
Yeah.
This was early smartphone era. Within the first 6 years of the main smartphone resurgence. So I honestly thought, that if we were going to get back and start doing Meta Ray-Ban shit, people have moved on from that stuff, but they have not.
They haven't.
They really haven't moved on from that.
Well, it feels pervy.
Yeah.
As I said, I wonder, because I would say, like, I feel like, and we've talked about it on the pod, the younger generations are happier with being surveilled.
Yep.
They all use Find My Friends. They use Snapchat maps. Like,
Yep.
they kind of know where each other are at all times, which I think for people of my generation, we're less comfortable with that as a concept. With all of this said, I always come back to, like, people talk about, like, worry about privacy or whatever. I was having this conversation with someone the other day. I was like, oh, have you got Gemini? Have you given it access to your Gmail so that you can, like, look through it? They're like, oh, I don't know if I want Gemini seeing all my emails. It's like, I've got news for you.
Right, they already can. So they can sell you fucking dog food, bro.
Like, Google already can see your emails. But you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing kind of goes back a little bit as well to the advertising thing. There's still this ubiquitous idea that Facebook is listening to your phone at all times. They're listening to this conversation right now, and they'll tell you, I've never looked this stuff up before. I've never looked up headphones that you can go to sleep in before in my entire life. I've never looked this up.
But I was having a conversation.
But I was having a conversation with a friend, and then on next thing, I open Instagram and there's an ad for them. And the thing is, like, A, you're seeing so many ads a day, but B, people, when I'm like, no, it's just that they have so many data points about you that they're able to target, like, they're able to know anyway. Like, they're able to know without you listening.
Yep.
Your behavior online and the people you follow and everything, they're able to know. And in my mind, that's creepier.
No, I agree.
That's creepier than them listening to your phone and just keyword matching.
Exactly. It actually is. It should be earth-shattering for your perception of the world that they've basically designed psychic powers based on, like, a whole, like, a bundle of thousands, tens of thousands of signals.
Millions.
That you send out across, like, your whole thing. They can sort of predict that you're pregnant or something.
Yeah. I guess my point of bringing that up, though, is that, like, humans need the aesthetic to drive home a point. I bring it up to say, you know, our lives are somewhat tracked, and we signed the bargain. That's fine. You know, like, we signed the bargain. We're like, we want to use Instagram for free. No one wants to pay for Facebook. You know, like, no one wants to pay for TikTok. You know, no one wants to pay to search the internet for search. And so we all signed the bargain. We know that, like, oh, well, you know, it's because they send me ads, like targeted ads that are effective. Signing the bargain to be tracked. But as soon as there's cameras on a face or on a device, it's like, this is a bridge too far.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I also get it.
No,
I say all this to say I get it.
I do get it. There's for example, another social phenomenon that always comes up is that, you know, Zoomers, again, we're always talking about fucking people who are 10 years younger, so, like, in this anthropological way. Like, what the fuck are these people doing? Let's study them like apes. But, you know, this idea that nightlife has massively changed from when we were, like, out and about because there's the feeling that if you do something slightly weird, you will be filmed. Yeah. And that could go fucking anywhere. You could be live streamed, you could be filmed.
And the flip side being, like, if you do something weird, it's almost to be filmed. You know, like, if you're letting loose on the dance floor, is your ulterior motive to be filmed?
Exactly. So, I mean, you totally understand why some people don't. Because, like, you know, being out in clubbing in, like, you know, 2010, 2011, 2012 or whatever, like, smartphones existed. Like, you could be filmed doing something, but where's it going to go? How's it going to be distributed?
Also, I mean, the quality of the cameras meant that, like, you could not see shit in those clubs.
That could be anyone with, like, the fucking green laser lights strobing. That ain't me, Your Honor. Like, you know, but also, like, where would it go? Whereas now someone can put it on TikTok and it gets 10 million impressions. Yeah. Folks, you would not want to be using a machine at the gym with improper form these days. You are going viral, bro.
You're getting fired. You're going to get fired.
You get fired from your job
for not squatting low enough, for not having enough depth to your squat.
This is how we're correcting for the work era. Is that if you do a shitty deadlift, it gets distributed across the web and you get fired. You lose your career. This is all a circular way of saying that, like, the same instincts that doomed Google Glass originally are kind of, like, not resolved. Yeah. People still fucking hate it. I will be honest in that I am not particularly perceptive about people wearing, like, Meta glasses.
No, neither. Right?
This is super relevant. There was a big sort of, like, media firestorm recently in Australia because Anko, which is our budget Kmart brand, where they do, like, the home brand stuff, which is all just, like, Alibaba shit from China.
Yeah, it's so, whatever you see on Temu and AliExpress, but just, like, branded.
And sold in Australian Kmart. they have their own Meta glasses equivalent. The breakfast TV circuit were like, well, this is for pervert pedophiles. And I love the vibe that it's like, Meta glasses, line ball. But if you're buying the Kmart ones, there is no doubt in my mind that you are a pedophile.
This is going to be ubiquitous. This is why Apple, again, I got to hand it to them. I think that they've like threaded the needle here-ish. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it'll become a meme of people like running up and snatching the headphones out and throwing them in the gutter or whatever.
Yep.
But like, it is useful being able to tell your AI what you're looking at. That's useful. And like, it can make your life better. If you're doing something like calorie tracking, for example, and you can just like hit a button and be like, here's what I'm eating. And then it, the AI determines like, okay, whatever, it's a very healthy chicken salad from a fish bowl, and then like work out the calories and you can do your calorie track or whatever it is. There's plenty of reasons why having cameras.
Yeah, totally visual field stuff. I guarantee you, when they do the announcement next month or whenever they do it, they will hammer home to an outrageous and almost boring degree. You cannot take photos with these.
Yeah, I wonder what the messaging is going to be like. When you see it on the billboards and whatnot, if they put them on the billboards.
Yeah, they might have some strong anti-pervert messaging.
Yeah, I think that'll be definitely, let's keep watch of that. We'll check back in on what the messaging is around them. Like, when you've only got a few words to describe them, they're pretty good at this kind of stuff.
To hammer it home for people that it's purely for being able to send what you're doing to Siri, obviously, or I'm going to imagine it's mostly for Siri, but maybe you'll be able to do it with other apps. Maybe it will just be Siri. Exactly. Looking at something and ask questions about what you're seeing.
Yeah.
What does this sign say when you're on holiday and you've got to sign in a foreign language?
Yeah.
Or to do live translation. Or like, how do I fix this when you're looking at some, I don't know, problem with your toilet or something?
Yeah. I will say, I mentioned this on the Nolan episode, the new Siri, and yes, I'm like 2 years behind or whatever, but the new Siri is pissing me off so much on the beta. It's great when I remember to use it for AI stuff, like asking it what something is. With my daughter the other day, and we're in the car, we're driving. This is where I kind of use Siri the most when I'm driving. I said to my daughter, the world, we can do whatever we want. The world is our oyster. And she said, what does that mean? What's the oysters got to do with it? And I was like, I don't know, probably some Shakespeare stuff or whatever. And then I asked Siri, and Siri actually did confirm it was just some Shakespeare bullshit. Still didn't make a lot of sense in the context of the Shakespeare itself. Right. I agree with my daughter that, look, I don't know what he was getting at then. Shakespeare said a lot of stuff. But point being, Siri was useful.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad.
Great. It was able to answer that now. That's good. Asking it for directions. Obviously, they've put in something that makes it cut off so quickly when it thinks it's like, oh, I've been called accidentally, that asking for directions is now a complete pain in the ass. Asking for a song on Spotify or Apple Music is a pain in the ass because it just stops halfway through. It's just like, oh, I actually think I got this wrong and they don't want me. Anyway, pisses me off. But it's still a beta, I suppose.
So you never found out the oyster question?
No, I found out and I immediately forgot.
Okay, no, it can't be that good. I will say, and I think it is interesting in that I use some sort of AI visual intelligence thing, not insanely regularly, but once, twice a week.
I use it every day.
Yeah. No, I find myself doing it and for things like that. Like, for example, I got something off of Amazon the other day and there was a piece that came with this device that I got that looked like extraneous. I took a photo. I was like, what's that? And they told me immediately. Great. Or I use it to live translation stuff. What does this sign say? Feeding in screenshots of things that I've taken across the web. Like, what's that? I use it semi-regularly, I guess. I would never get a device that's specifically for that. I don't think I'm not that interested in having smart glasses just so I can do that. But when my AirPods conk out, I will get new AirPods. I'm on the second generation AirPod Pro.
Same.
And when those die, because I think mine are a few years old now, 3 years old maybe, I'll just get the new AirPods because I think the AirPods are good. And I would probably use that, having when I'm looking at stuff.
Yeah,
and if I can access that quickly.
Assuming that it's not, they're not going to be ripped out of my head and thrown in the gutter or whatever.
Well, that's true. But
I will. Yeah, I'll get them. I think that'll be useful.
I would bet that Apple's massively prioritizing that, like the messaging and saying these are not cameras where you can take photos and videos of things. It's literally not possible.
They might not even call them cameras.
No,
that'd be the swerve.
No, they wouldn't. I doubt they would.
They call it like visual intelligence. Or something.
They may. Yeah, I wonder how they'll actually pitch it. They'll come up with an Apple name for it.
Yeah.
They'll come up with something that's not camera.
Yeah.
They would have thought about this very hard. So I don't think
visual intelligence lens.
I would put a bet right now that, and maybe I'll be proving this only wrong, but I don't think we're going to have people ripping AirPods because it'll just be like the little black circle on it, which it'll be
tough to see.
Which AirPods they kind of have already now, right? Like they've got a bunch of black circles and rectangles. Like you wouldn't be able to tell if there was a new thing on the stem.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they'll have the light on though or not. So the thing with the metas is that there's a light on when you're filming.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, obviously, this, as I said, isn't.
It won't film.
It won't film, but like, will they still feel the need to like let people know that there are cameras on?
Yeah, I feel like they probably wouldn't on the basis that you can't do it. That like it's literally not possible with the device. It's purely for receiving visual intelligence or whatever. But it is interesting. I mean, like. And I just think that like AirPods, because it's like an existing product category, it's not like a brand new weird thing that you're putting on your face. It'll probably evade any backlash. Yeah,
and it also could be that because the other side of this is that, as we always say, in 10 years' time, people aren't going to give a fuck about cameras in your glasses. Like it'll be so ubiquitous that I don't think that culturally it's going to be like a no forever. And this could be the start of that.
It could be, although I do feel like. And this is something we've talked about when we've talked about smart glasses in the past, when everyone's wondered about, is it the replacement for the smartphone or whatever? I'm less and less bullish on that, at least in like the near to midterm. Aside from people being worried about the pervert invasion, clearly photography and video has not been the killer app for people. Like most people are not getting it to do that. Some people are.
Yeah.
Like some people have been like, that's perfect for my use case, surreptitiously filming people. Or like, I do something. Which maybe I would have done with a GoPro before, but I can do it with these now. But for most people, that's not getting them over the line to buy them.
Yeah.
And maybe some of it is because of the moral backlash, but also it's just not a killer app for them that they can now film stuff better on their face. Most people are not filming stuff.
No.
Except when it's like, these are my kids or
like
I'm
extreme
out.
Stuff.
Yeah. So it would have to do something else. So like that's why obviously Meta is going for the proper smart glasses, as our Snap was also doing that. We riffed on the fucking horrible
AR Chungus.
AR Chungus Snap glasses. It needs to be able to do something. And we've said this so many times. It's got to do something better than the fucking glowing rectangle that lives in your pocket 24/7.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good at most things.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking hard to beat. When you go back in time and you go, what have been the innovations of this since 2007? They put a camera on the front. That was big. That was fucking huge.
Yeah.
When the iPhone 4 did that and like the Androids at the time, big.
Yeah.
They made the screen bigger.
Well, yeah, and then Face Unlock, that was big.
Face Unlock was big. Although this is the other, because, the other thing they're about to announce is the foldable. They're back to Touch ID.
On the foldable?
Yes. This is what Bloomberg reported.
Interesting.
They're not doing Face ID. It's back to Touch ID for their foldable phone.
Because too hard.
And also...
Because God knows how someone's holding it.
And also no telephoto camera.
Okay.
So no zoom. So they're...
Oh, so it's going to be a shitter phone.
So this is what Bloomberg's thing was speculating, is that it's going to be this great form factor. And this is Mark Gurn at Bloomberg. He basically said in his newsletter, this is going to be a huge product. People are going to fucking love this thing, based on what he's seen and heard. But he said there will be the question of, there are actually a lot of pro iPhone users who get them because they like having the best camera on the market.
Yeah.
The best camera, the best, whatever, every feature that is on offer. And he said these will actually go backwards in some of those areas to do the form factor.
Interesting.
And he was like, they may get back there in like 2 or 3 years to be like back at the frontier, but it won't be for now. That's interesting. But apart from that...
But it's going to be smaller though, right? It's like it starts as a square and it kind of folds out to be bigger, like I'm tempted again.
Yep. But he did say that like the pocket form factor is really good. So it is like nice and thin, and like the hinge is like the best on the market.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. This could be my phone.
It's good to think. Well, anyway.
I don't like having not the best features. I want to know that I've got the best, But I can be tempted with a cool gizmo. Like if the feature is just a cool, interesting thing. Yeah. And I know that Android users who've been using friggin' foldables for ages are going to be like, but it's cool and interesting. It's cool and interesting to me.
He talked about there's another one that's like really that's on the market that people love right now. That's another foldable phone that just came out. I think it might be one of the Samsung ones.
Yeah.
I think it's a new Samsung one that's great. And also, I mean, again, this is real courting China vibes as well, because over in China they fucking love their foldables.
They love a new form factor,
and they love foldables.
Yeah.
They love, as I said, if you want to see someone that's using a foldable phone in the city of Sydney right now, it is a Chinese guy on the metro who's just hammering like a fucking League of Legends clone on his massive foldable phone.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the guy.
This is who you're gaming against.
Exactly. You on your paltry fucking iPhone 15 or whatever, you're getting smoked by this dude on this League of Legends clone. But looping back to the question about the smartphone, yeah, the innovations, they put a front camera on it. They made the screens bigger. Mm-hmm. That was I feel like it was the South Koreans who led with that. Yeah, like the Galaxy Note and shit.
Yeah, the Note. Yeah. The phablet. Remember the term phablet?
This is like, I'm looking at my iPhone 17 Pro Max or whatever. This is a phablet.
Oh, yeah. The word phablet disappeared because it just became phone.
All phones became that. Like, Apple really rolled over on that.
All phones became phablets.
I think it was a real, like, Steve Jobs just before he died vibe where he was like, they don't need to be bigger. And they betrayed him. But yeah. Like,
look where we ended up.
Remember that? Like, the Galaxy Note was so damn big it had a stylus.
Yeah.
And it was considered, like, comically large.
Yeah.
Look at your damn pockets, bro. You walk around with a manila folder in your pocket.
The Galaxy Note, the phablet, was 146 millimeters high, so 14.6 millimeters high, compared to the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is 16 centimeters high. The Note was 2 centimeters wider. The iPhone is like significantly taller.
Yeah.
Like it's bigger.
Yeah, and it's got more screen as well, because like there was.
It's edge to edge.
It's edge to edge. But I do remember back then I was like, well, I can't imagine.
That's ludicrous. Why are you walking around with crazy. An iPad in your hand?
And now it's fucking everything. So yeah, those innovations. They put a camera on the front. They made the cameras on the back bigger and added multiple of them. Yeah. So now everyone has various configurations of like big, fat, ugly circles.
Yeah.
And then they made them bigger.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it.
No, the refresh rate, but no, that doesn't count.
The screen, no, that doesn't really count. But, the screen's got better.
Yeah.
But, because it all comes down to glowing rectangle, they fucking nailed that. Glowing rectangle touchscreen, any content you want, you can talk to it if you like. If you are hell-bent on talking to your phone, that option is available for you. But if you'd rather stay mum and hammer at it with your greasy thumbs, it's available.
Yeah, the inertia of the phone, this is what Altman should have said, not societal inertia, phone inertia.
Phone inertia.
Like that,
people be on their damn phone too much for AI to take off.
Yeah, in 10 years' time, and this is a bold prediction, I think people will still be using phones.
Oh yeah, there will be phones. There will be phones. I remember there was like people were saying maybe they'll go back to making them small again, but you can't now.
I mean, I've always gone, well, not always. I went with the big one a couple of times, but I've moved back to small. And so this is why I like the idea of the Fold. I like small phones.
My last phone, maybe it was the one before, I went back down to the small one, and I just couldn't go back.
Oh, you hated it?
I hated it. My fat thumbs couldn't type. I was always making typos.
Oh, I do always make typos, but they've made that better at just like guessing what I want, whereas I just like splurge at the keyboard and it kind of usually works itself out.
Yeah.
And I get really pissed off when it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I get... There was a time
when I just like smeared 2 thumbs across the screen and just expected it to know.
Actually, that is one thing I've noticed about the beta is that I think the spell check is back to being better. There was a period where I feel like it was very bad, like the iPhone auto spell check or whatever. So there's still reports and rumors that Apple are doing the glasses as well. So even though they're evading the debate, you would think that those are going to have proper cameras on them when they do eventually do proper ones. Because I think we can all say, and we've called it on Down Around before, Vision Pro or bust. VR has kind of receded back into being a bust, I feel.
Yeah, it's a bust.
It just turned out that no one wants that.
Cool tech that didn't have many use cases.
Like maybe that changes when they've got, I don't know, fully generative metaverse worlds. But again, I don't know. People don't seem to not want it.
The friction of putting them on is too much.
Yeah.
Like it's just too damn much.
Too much.
You have to be able to put them on for 8 hours at a time and not know they're there, I feel like, before it becomes useful.
And it's just like antisocial and weird.
Yeah,
like
and even then, exactly like when you're by yourself. Although I will say, I don't have the data in front of me, but I saw some study going around that was like, I think it was like 42% of adults speak to another person in real life, like that they call a friend, less than once a week.
Okay.
And I was like, God damn, ain't that really sad? And I went to the comments and it was all people being like, this is fine. So I go on the internet and I speak to 15 friends every single day and I'm perfectly happy. Like, you know, you're casting aspersions about this, but I speak to heaps of friends every day from all over the world who share different interests and I have a much richer social life than I would if I was speaking. Like every comment was like,
damn, loser says what? You got to be talking to people.
No, like every single comment was that.
Yeah, I mean,
so if you're sitting home alone, if they make them good, and plus you need there's also the network effects, right, that are required.
It's sounding like that classic thing people say where it's like you're waiting for the damn metaverse. We're already living in the damn metaverse, and I was like, I think that's just cope that you say because no one bought any of this shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, VR just seems it goes back into its like ice age until someone figures out the next thing and everyone freaks out. You know, it's an endless dream. People are always going to want to make that work.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be someone who's fucking passionate about it.
But it is crazy. Like, let's be honest. All of the VR sci-fi from, you know, Tron or whatever to,
Ready Player One
Neuromancer and like all this stuff, we have that technology now. Like all the original William Gibson and whatnot, like Snow Crash or whatever and all of this kind of stuff where it's like, everyone logs on to like live in this virtual world where you can make your avatar whatever and like it was just kind of implied that once the technology was here, society would follow. It's like we have all that shit. Like Vision Pro and the Meta Quest is like it can do all that shit.
It can do that, and it's just not that cool.
It's like and no one's in there because it's like it's
a bit cringe.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass and kind of annoying, and the aesthetics are just off. No one put that in the books. No one put that in there.
Next episode, we want to talk about something that's gone semi-viral in normie circles.
Yeah, there's and Silicon Valley VC. They talk about a new AI agent for the rest of us, which is called Instinct. And we're also going to talk about something that's very close to my heart, which is all the videos of robots stacking it.
Oh, yeah, robots. Hell yeah. Robots stacking it.
Robots stacking it at the Robot Olympics this week, folks, over in glorious China. So if you're not a subscriber to Down Round Premium, folks, I'm pointing at the camera right now if you're listening at home and not watching it on video. Head to our YouTube and subscribe. Head to our Instagram. Head to our TikTok. Subscribe. Yeah,
but YouTube, importantly, we need to get this shit going. I'm calling out... Downey, I'm calling on you. I'm calling on the Downies. The Downey listening to this. Get on the YouTube. We need some help. Subscribe. Give us a comment. Tell us your favorite color. Comment on this video.
Your favorite color.
Your favorite color.
I feel like that's going to get us auto-moderated into oblivion, but that's fine. But actually, you know what? We're trying to make our video stuff work, but because we're an ultra-transparent podcast who cares about this stuff in the abstract, we're meta. We think meta with it. We're going to do some of the most gruesome growth hacks.
Oh, yeah. That's a great place to announce it. Yeah. Over the coming months... we're going to document our growth hacks.
Yeah, as we try to make the Down Round YouTube / our other platforms pop off on video.
Yeah.
And because we're doing it in kind of like a fun meta way, that gives us social license to do stuff that would be fucked if we were just doing it as a genuine channel.
And we'll report back on what works and what doesn't.
What doesn't, exactly.
This is now like a growth hack social media marketing podcast.
Exactly. We're going to try to do that. And what that means is it actually liberates us, because if it doesn't work and we fail, we can say we made some funny content about it as we go. So our egos are secure.
Thank Christ.
There's a little thing in many East Asian cultures called losing face.
Some call it shame.
No, it's different. It's different. It's more Chinese. It's very important in Down Round culture that we not lose face. And we won't if we do it in this way. Anyway, if you're not a subscriber to Down Round Premium, you should be doing that. Aside from all the other stuff, which you should also be doing. Head to downround.net. Subscribe. You get an extra episode every single week on top of this one. What a deal. But we'll see you on the other side of the paywall.